Welcome back. Venezuela says it is stepping up efforts to fight drug cartels targeted by the U.S. in a military strike. Just yesterday, President Nicolas Maduro said he is sending 25,000 troops to fight a known drug trafficking route off the coast of the South American country. Now, this comes amid rising tensions between the two countries after the U.S. struck a boat it claims was operated by Tren de Aragua gang members. 11 people in that boat were killed. In response, Venezuela flew military aircraft over a U.S. naval ship in international waters, and that prompted President Trump to warn that those jets could be shot down. On Face the Nation Sunday, the Democratic chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee said this is about the U.S. strike.
There are still international laws of the sea about how the process of interdicting these kind of boats. There's supposed to be a firing of a warning shot. You're supposed to try to take it peacefully. My understanding, this boat, none of those procedures are followed. And, I'm going to get the full brief this week. But what I'm worried about is if we put our sailors in harm's way by violating international law, unless there is the appropriate designations, could this come back and hurt those sailors?
Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance, he posted on X and he defended the strike, saying, "Killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military." All right, so joining us now is Dr. Charles Faint. He's a managing editor of the Modern War Institute at West Point. Dr. Faint, thank you so much for joining us on 24/7 today. First, let's talk about last week's strike. Just how effective do you think that strategy actually is?
Well, in terms of strategy, it's a very interesting one that I'll leave for others to discuss on that. But in terms of tactics, it's an extremely effective way. The interdiction that was carried out appears to be by MQ-9 with a missile strike went very well and was highly successful.
Okay, and after Venezuelan jets flew over a U.S. naval ship, the U.S. ordered 10 F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico, and that's quite a buildup. So could all of this lead to a military conflict in the region?
Well, as you mentioned, the F-35 is extremely capable aircraft, and there have been a series of provocations by the Venezuelan Air Force against the U.S. military down there, the ship. So it'll be interesting to see what develops from this, but I think that the U.S. is posturing itself to give maximum flexibility to policymakers.
And Dr. Faint, what are you hearing, if anything, about other South American countries possibly playing a role in all of this?
That's a fantastic question. So the main thing that I'm interested in from this whole connection and the kerfuffle that's happening down right now is the connection between Venezuela, Hezbollah, and Iran. There's a lot of interplay going on in there with Tren de Aragua, which you mentioned before. TDA has a long history of connections with narco-terrorism, and a lot of that seems to be coming to a head now between Hezbollah, Venezuela, and Iran.
Wow. Did not know that. Very good information there. Dr. Charles Faint, thank you so much for your insights today and for joining us on 24/7. We really appreciate your analysis.